Morning, guys. I'm back out in the field again, and I want to do a quick update video on the Bongo Gear Becker Patrol Pack. After my review video, the owner reached out to me and said, "Hey, thanks for the video and doing the review, but I want to send you an updated version of the pack so you can kind of detail all its features and improvements." And so, my version of the pack was basically the first generation of those packs, and I think he's on probably his third or fourth now. So what I want to do is kind of go over the improvements and features of this pack again, just to give everybody a more current update on what to expect. Okay, guys, so we're looking at the front of the pack here. Here's your shoulder straps. Got a nice heavy-duty grab handle at the top. Got the port for our hydration tube if you want to run one, hydration bladder. There you saw the tag from Bongo Gear. This pack's brand new, straight from him. Up at the top, we've got that awesome Claymore pouch that I love. Now, my team leader book fits in here nicely, my Right in the Rain notepad, as well as my rifle cleaning gear, two items that I just like to keep handy. And if you recall from the review video, and one of the improvements that I suggested they make was to get rid of those metal zipper pulls, because they just were kind of jingly, made some extra noise that didn't need to be there. And so it's nice to see that they've gone ahead and replaced that with these nice kind of heavy cord zipper pulls. And I love these zipper pulls. I think this is a great improvement to an already really good pack. So I'm happy to see they did that. You'll notice that the zippers all have this nice, I don't know what you would call this, kind of like an eave, I guess, that goes over the zipper. So as rain and so on is coming down, it sheds it all off and away from the zipper, so you don't have water penetrating through that zipper slowly. So nice feature there. So going on to the back of the pack, here's that Claymore pouch again. It's got a nice laser cut drain. It's not a grommet, I guess, but it would be a drain just for moisture. And I think it's also good for just ventilation. As you're out in the rain and moving around after a few days, stuff's going to get wet, and you're actually have moisture trapped on the inside. And if you have a very water resistant pack and you get moisture trapped on the inside, it's going to be hard for that moisture to escape. So it's good to see these little drains just to help with ventilation. So on the back of the pack, this is the lid still. We've got those two pouches on top right here and right here. And these are basically sized for two 30-round AR-15 magazines, but obviously you can put whatever you want in there, that'll fit. And each one of these pouches has a nice drawstring closure, so if you have smaller items in there and you need to keep them trapped in there. Each of the lids has a adjustment, so you can open it up, pull it down, and then it came with these nice kind of Velcro style one wrap straps to keep this extra webbing contained. I really like that. I think that's a great feature. Back in the day when I was a younger grunt, this Velcro one wrap, I don't think it was around much back then, or at least we didn't know about it. And so we used a lot of electrical tape. And so you always had especially as a team leader, you always had a roll of electrical tape to help your guys get their stuff kind of resecured. Got this nice about 6-7 inch strip of Velcro, so you can put reflective panels on here, or cat eyes, or just morale patches, whatever you want to put on there. And then, of course, that other lid pocket. And these two have those nice laser cut drains. And we got our two lid buckles here. And like I said in the past, if a guy wanted to, if you don't want to rely on these buckles for some reason, you can always replace them with the ITW split bars. Okay, going underneath the lid, got this really nice big zippered pouch again. Same as on the other design, on the older design like mine. You can kind of see I don't want to say rubber, but it's like a coated material that they make these packs out of, and so you can kind of see that there. This pouch has this mesh is actually a little bit padded, so you could probably put some sensitive items in there if you needed to help protect them. We've got the storm collar again at the top of the pack, made out of a real lightweight kind of, I don't know if that's parachute nylon or what that is, but just a nice lightweight material. It's got a drawstring closure, so of course you can draw it up, and this is a really nice feature because it allows you to kind of overpack a little bit if you need to and still have that equipment or clothing or whatever it is that you're sticking on top. You know, sometimes it might just be a warming layer that you started out at the beginning of the day needing, and then as the day warms up you want to shed it. You can quickly pop the top on your pack, put your warming layer on top, and then just suck it up and store it there, and it can just ride on top ready to go for later in the evening. So it's a nice feature to have, and of course it's great for keeping the rain and the snow out of your pack and from getting your items wet. The interior of the pack, I believe, is the same as it was on my pack. We've got our front, back, left, and right pouches with the bright orange material. Got the hanger for our hydration bladder, and then the access to our internal frame. So we can remove that to adjust it. Okay, so moving on to the back of the pack. Now, Tom was kind enough to send me another pack sack to go with this pack as well. I think it's a very useful addition to these packs, and honestly, it's worth the 25 bucks if you're going to order one of these packs. Get yourself one of these. You'll be glad that you did. On the left side, we've got our outer pocket again. Now, a major improvement that he's made on all these outer pockets is these all have small storm collars as well. And I think that's fantastic. I was so happy to see him make that improvement because if you recall from my last video, I was concerned that the way the lids came down, if you had this pocket really full, that there was a potential that items could maybe sneak out of these pouches. And it does have a drawstring closure as well, and so that's nice. But this is just, you can't do any better than actually closing up the whole pocket and then putting a lid over the top of it. I mean, I think that's about as secure as you can make it. All right, we've got our side compression panels, or I'm sorry, compression straps. Now, one thing Tom did, each one of these pockets has its own compression strap, and that's great so that these pockets just aren't out here flopping around. You know, you load them and then you can suck them down. Now, this pack has a different design of compression strap than mine does, and I feel like it's a much better design. The other one was a little bit finicky sometimes to get adjusted. This one's a lot simpler. Although one thing I would do is, you can see the end of this strap is just bare. I'd imagine if a person were to yank on this hard enough, he would just pull it out through the buckle, which isn't the end of the world. You should know how to refeed your buckles on your pack easy enough. But it'd be kind of a good improvement if they just doubled this over and sewed it so that it couldn't pull back through the buckle. But minor, that's a pretty minor thing there. Of course, each one of these pockets has a lid and the same adjustable compression strap that the top pockets did. We've got our chain webbing here on the side for hooking in carabiners and other gear. Works very good here. That's what we're using to hold the pack sack on with, is with these kind of polymer hooks. And they seem to work good. Of course, we've got small MkII section here and some MkII webbing that kind of runs around. That's one thing I like about this pack, is that it's not just plastered in MkII webbing. It's done in an intelligent kind of manner where you would actually expect to want to put a pouch. On the front, we've still got our two front pockets. I'm sorry, on the back of the pack, we still have our 2 back pockets with storm collars, drawstrings, and the lid. And each one of them has that same compression strap. And then another neat improvement that Tom's made is by adding along the side here a zipper so you can get to the inside of the pack. Now, I wasn't sure that I would ever use such a thing, but now that I've got one and can actually play with it, I think it's a very useful idea. Just getting ready to come out here today, I was digging through my other Bongo gear pack, and I literally had to unpack it halfway down to get to some stuff in the bottom. And so I think that is a smart idea. You know, I wasn't sure that I would like it. I'm generally a little bit leery of zippers on packs just because if they fail, then your pack's ruined, right? Now, an intelligent thing that Tom did is, you know, thinking ahead. Of course, these are very heavy-duty zippers, and I think it would take a lot to get one of these to fail. But basically, he has a lacing system running over the top of that zipper. You can see the eyelets here, and then he used a piece of cordage instead. And you could back that zipper up with some, you know, bank line or 550 cord, and I think that's a really smart idea. You know, if that zipper were to ever fail, you can make a field repair quite easily, but it gives you some versatility and convenience, really, just to get to some items on the inside so that you don't have to unpack your whole pack. I think it's a smart idea. You know, like I said, I wasn't sold on it at first, but, you know, I'm kind of old-fashioned too, so, but I think Tom won me over on that one. And then over on the right side, of course, we've got another side pocket, more MkII. Now, all these pockets all have a pass-through still, just like on the older version. And so you can carry your trekking poles, your hatchets, e-tools, whatever it is you need to carry, shooting tripods, etc. Now, the bottom of the pack has the MkII webbing as well, so you can attach any other large storage pouches you need there. The lid straps do run through the MkII webbing, and I always like to pull these back through and then run them on the outside so that I have that loop for my my ISO mat. But you know, you can leave them this way too. There's nothing wrong with either. So on the front of the pack, we've got our load lifter straps here, and then we've got this nice kind of yoke style of shoulder suspension. You know, and one thing I forgot to mention in the last video was if you're familiar with Hill People gear packs, they also use a similar setup. Now, Bongo did not just go rip theirs off. This is actually a different size, and when you compare the two, there's enough differences that, you know, it's not a direct copy by any means. And I was told that even Evan over at Hill People Gear saw this version and thought, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So it's not that he's out ripping people off. It's that a good design is a good design. And I don't care what you're talking about. And some stuff just becomes a classic because it works so good. And frankly, this is one of those things. This design, once you've had this setup on a pack, I think you'll agree that you're not going to want to go back to other styles. All right, the way this cradles your shoulders and the back of your neck and adds that extra support back there, I really like it. I won't ever have another pack without it. Now, Tom over at Bongo Gear designed these. If I remember right, and you may double check me on this, but I believe these same this yoke will attach to an Alice style frame, or he makes a version that will. I can't recall which is which, but I do know that he made it so that it can attach to an Alice frame, or he does make a version anyways. Going back here, we've got these pads. Now on mine, this is kind of a mesh style pad, and here he's gone solid. And same with underneath the shoulder straps. Mine was like a mesh, and I'm glad to see him go to this solid style because all these little things like this grass, stuff like this, would get caught in that mesh all the time. And so I'm glad to see him go to something solid like this. We've still got the QD releases which is important for a patrol pack, on the shoulder straps so that you can get the ruck off quickly. But he also has just your normal, I can't think of what this is called, but I believe this is so that you could run your strap through here if you wanted to get rid of this QD. All right, moving down to the hip belt. We've got this adjustable lumbar pad, just attaches by hook and loop, and you can set that obviously quite a bit lower or higher depending on your back shape and kind of how you need that to fit. Then we got the nicely padded hip belt. Now I believe this is the same size hip belt as what was on my original pack. I don't believe that he's changed that at all. And Tom was kind enough to send out a couple of his MkII belt loop adapters. So these just snap onto your MkII, and they give you a place where if you have gear that's meant to attach to your belt and isn't MkII compatible, you can now attach it to your MkII webbing. And so here I've just got a smaller version, and it's just got my prototype drop tine hunting knife on here. Great little knife, and I love these little adapters. I think they're a smart idea because not everything is MkII compatible that's good. Okay guys, so this pretty much concludes the Bongo Gear Becker Patrol Pack update. I hope I was able to kind of show off all the features. I hope I was able to do it justice. I want to once again thank Tom at Bongo Gear for sending it out. I really appreciate it. And it's going to be, I'm excited to add it to the pack collection. I'll be getting my gear transferred over to this. And I don't know, I'll probably just retire the old one, I guess, so it can hang up next to my old Alice pack. You know, I got a lot of miles under that first one, quite a few classes, you know, out here as an instructor. And a lot of times, you know, my classes are 24/7. We don't pack up at the end of the day and go back to a motel room. We stay in the field, and I stay with the students. I sleep with them out in the field. And so I got a lot of memories with that pack. I met a lot of cool people, and we had a lot of cool adventures out here doing those classes. And that pack was a big part of it many times. So kind of, you know, kind of the end of a chapter, so to speak, for that pack. But I've got a newer and improved version that I'm excited to get set up. You know, don't forget that I've got a discount code if you're interested in one of these Bongo Gear packs or any of their other gear, and I'll put that up in the video. Thank you guys for watching, and of course, if you have any questions, be sure to reach out. I'm happy to answer anything I can. And the owner of Bongo Gear, Tom, he's a great resource, and if you have any questions, please be sure to reach out to him. He's an awesome guy, and he'd be happy to help you, I'm sure. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.